I need a light. Okay. I don't hear anything right now. We have 5 minutes. I wonder how we could get back here. Yeah. Wow. I'm looking at some photos, man. Yes, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Do you guys have any video back there, or you want me to step out of the way? Hello? You guys have any video that we saw? Did you grab any video, or am I stepping out of the way?
If you're looking at the road that goes in, go to the left, and then ask somebody if you can cut through their yard, and they'll let you cut through the yard. All right, bye. Walter Ferris. They're looking for Walter Ferris. Once you're ready, I'm supposed to tell them you're ready. You got time. All right, this mic is up and running. Okay. Four. The only problem with that is I don't know the number to that one because they changed the number. If you have it in your phone by chance, I think it's 9713. REM 4. Yeah, but remember that number is different. It is different. I had it in my phone. So all right, so what you got is you got a bunch of ambulances over there. Right here. Ross is here. I'm just getting him a lay of the land. Yes. Yeah. When you get a chance to talk to me, Ross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want to step out, you can. I'll just pan around. I'm going to step out this way. Okay. You have family members and neighbors over here, and then you have first responders over here. And I can zoom into the collapse. Let's start on the collapse, obviously. Okay. Just turned the hose off, but there was hoses on this. Well, we just got here minutes ago, so we don't have a ton of confirmed information, but let me just start with the scene itself. In terms of the size, this is as large a breaking news scene as I have covered in my 10 plus years as a journalist. Let me step out of the way so you can see what we're seeing here. First of all, I want to zoom in on the collapse itself. You can still see a lot of smoke coming from this nursing home. This is the Silver Lake Nursing Home in Bristol Borough. And you can see just that massive plume of smoke coming out of it. So it kind of speaks to how recently this potential explosion and collapse happened. And then surrounding that, you can also see what's collapsed underneath all of that smoke. Much of this building here has now been essentially leveled to the ground. And then surrounding that, we have tons of fire trucks. I count at least a dozen of them here on scene, and at least two large ladders over the top of this building that collapsed. And my photographer was telling me he got here about 15 minutes before I did that. For the past 20 minutes or so, they have been dousing this building with water, which would seem to imply that there were some flames or some sort of explosive material surrounding this collapse. And beyond that, there are just a ton of first responders. I'm talking about from Philadelphia, Fairless Hills, Bristol Township. I mean, the entire area seems to have responded to this active scene.
And then I'll finish by just describing that off camera over to my right, the viewer's left. There are a number of folks who live in the community around here. We spoke with them briefly just before I hopped on camera, and a lot of them told us that it's their loved ones that are actually inside there. So they are worried right now. Of course, they're not going to leave the scene anytime soon. They want to know what's happened to their potential family members, as there is a search and rescue operation underway as we speak. So a lot of anxiety here, a lot of concern about the folks who may still be trapped inside of this nursing home. We're not going anywhere. We just got here. We're going to start talking with some of these residents, also some of the first responders. We hope to find out exactly what may have caused this explosion. We have yet to hear what may have caused it, and also how many people may still be trapped inside. But the last we heard, there's an active search and rescue effort underway at this hour. We'll stay on top of this and bring you any updates as soon as we get them. Back to you guys in the studio. I'll say this, Don. On our way here, I drove, of course, from our station in Philadelphia. I saw tons of first responders speeding past us from Philadelphia. So a lot of these trucks you see are actually Philadelphia Fire Department trucks that have responded to this scene out of necessity. So that kind of speaks to the overall need here and just the size and scope of this explosion potentially, and now this building collapse with the ongoing search and rescue effort. So just the overall size of it, I mean, we can only see a fraction of it, and I just got here a minute ago. So I think this extends far beyond what our cameras can see and even what my eyes can see from where we're standing.
So do you want to go over there and just see if you can grab one of those
I
people?
do.
If there's a neighbor, then they probably heard the explosion.
Yeah.
If there's a family member, then they might be looking for somebody. So just be general. I'll be right back. Hey, Ross, 245 out. $245 before you're hit. 245? Yeah. They wouldn't talk to you. But they said something. They gave you something.
They did.
Oh my.
What?
Rich Kiss is asking for drone opportunities.
I don't think that's going to fly, literally.
They're surveying the. See that guy right there?
With the helmet on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that go into the cadaver dog.
Okay. Just another straight live, right?
I mean, I can't edit anything out here. Unless they're editing something back there.
Yeah, guys, this is a massive a massive scene, a massive breaking news scene. And I was just speaking with some of the folks. If you were watching 10 minutes ago, I was telling you that there are some residents who have come out here. They've been here for a lot longer than I have, trying to piece together what exactly happened here. So I'm going to tell them they didn't want to speak on camera. So I'm going to kind of reiterate what they said while you take a look at this scene behind me. Just to summarize again, this is at the Silver Lake Nursing Home in Bristol. You can see there's been a large collapse here at this nursing home. This smoke still coming from the scene, and a lot of the building in front of that has completely collapsed. Tough to see much beyond that because they got this place completely surrounded by fire trucks. I was just talking with some of the residents. They said, first of all, they all felt this explosion. They were, in some cases, a mile or more away, and they felt their entire house shake. That's how big they said the explosion was. And then a lot of them said they dropped everything that they were doing. They knew that this is the site of this nursing home, so they just rushed over here. And as soon as they got here, they described what was a really horrific scene. A lot of folks in wheelchairs. You can imagine it's a nursing home, so a lot of them were in wheelchairs, suffering from injuries outside. There were just a handful of first responders here on scene, and they immediately started telling any resident who was willing to help, grab someone in these wheelchairs and start wheeling them to the nearby hospital because a lot of these folks needed medical attention. And sure enough, these residents didn't hesitate. They said they immediately started rolling some of these nursing home residents to wherever they were directed to, which is an amazing story within the larger story, which is turning out to be pretty scary at this point. We've seen some rescue crews, guys with helmets going in with what looks like cadaver dogs to search for what we assume are survivors who may be trapped now in this building that has essentially completely collapsed from the inside. And I did speak with one other resident. This is unconfirmed at this point, but he said that there was a Pico truck here for hours today. They're not sure exactly what they were working on, but someone said that they had smelled what may have been gasoline. Again, that is unconfirmed at this point. Just some of the stuff I'm hearing here on the ground. But at this point, we're told it's an active search and rescue. And just in terms of the response itself, this is a massive response from Fairless Hills is what I'm seeing. Bristol Township Police, Philadelphia Fire Engines, dozens of them have arrived here. There are a lot of first responders waiting on the outskirts for permission to go in and start helping, but I would estimate dozens and dozens of first responders here on scene, just ready and eager to help. Guys, we'll send it back to you. Thank you.
I asked for a camera to go to the command center because we're missing sound over there right now.
Are they giving an update?
Well, they're eventually going to.
This is one of those times in news where we have no choice but to be here, but it's kind of the worst spot to be.
Well, do you want to go over to the command center and ask them if we can have 5 minutes to recalibrate? The problem is you can't see anything over there.
Yeah.
All you see is the back to ambulances in the command center.
I'd rather stay here. I got to call Rich, so he asked me to call him. Hey.
I'm good.
I mean, I'd rather not, but if you're asking me to, I will. Okay. Okay. Will do.
We're going to need time to move. What do you say?
He wants me to do a network shot at 6:38.
Well, that's in 2 hours. I'm not moving until they tell us to move.
Okay.
This is the best shot I think I can get. I might be able to see something from over there.
Let me go take a look.
All right. I'm pretty sure this is the best shot I can get. Over there?
For sure. sure I can't convince you to do an interview? I think you had a lot of great stuff to say. It would really help us better tell the story from someone who was here. Thank you. Thank you.
Do I look like shit?
No, you look great. I'm not. I'm not. I promise. Nate, he's going to do a quick interview with us.
Fantastic.
Okay. I will. You're basically just going to be telling me exactly what happened. Yep. And you'll just talk to me.
Yeah,
Ignore the
go ahead,
camera.
Look at him.
Okay.
I'm not here. Go for it.
Okay. Sir, what's your name?
Robert Gradilla.
Can you spell your last name, Robert?
Gragilla.
How close would you say you live to the nursing home?
I mean, about 4 blocks away.
Tell me what you experienced, how you knew something was wrong.
I'm in my house, and all of a sudden I hear this explosion. The house shook a little bit. I'm like, what was that? So I opened my door. I look out. This big white cloud was coming by this hospital here. Okay, so I walked down here, and here, as you can see, the building is blown up or whatever. And someone said it was a gas leak. So, but behind it is a nursing home, and you see all the windows are blown out. So the fire trucks and the cops and the ambulances came, pulled people out. Must have been about 7 or 8 people they pulled out. And then about 40 minutes later, the building erupted in flames, and the big black cloud came and whatever. And then they put that out, took that a while, and that's where we're at now. So
there was a significant delay between that first explosion and then.
yes, at least 40 minutes.
Did you see flames in between there?
No,
It wasn't
no.
until the black cloud that you saw the flames start.
Well, no, the flame started, then the black cloud, but it was just white smoke, little bit.
And
But
so this front building where the explosion looks like it happened in the collapse, is that different from the nursing home itself?
yeah,
That's
it's a
the
separate building.
So that's the hospital that exploded, you think?
The hospital's right back there.
Okay, got you.
This, someone told me, is a kitchen,
Okay.
and I heard that they were smelling gas for like a few days. So there was a Pico truck right there, and whatever, the explosion happened after that and took out the building behind it, which is the nursing home. So
Tell me again what you saw in terms of the people that may have been injured who were in wheelchairs that were in front of the building.
they pulled them out, and most were walking. A few they had on makeshift sheets and stuff to bring them out, laid them on the ground. Some were significantly, hurt. But-
When you say that, what did it look like?
Someone, their legs were really bleeding, but most of them were moving and everything. And, I didn't see any fatalities. I hope there is none, but
But you did see several significant injuries, it looked like.
a couple,
Okay.
yes.
And what did the people from the neighboring community start doing? Did you or other
Oh
people
yeah,
start
yeah.
helping?
The whole neighborhood came out. Some brought blankets, some brought pillows, and they were letting them go up to the people to help them or whatever. They were putting them in what do you call it? Gurneys, or what do you call that?
A stretcher?
A stretcher. Yeah. So, but we were waiting for ambulances to come, so we were going to help put them in the ambulance and stuff.
But the fact that like locals ended up helping out, do you think that speaks to there just wasn't a lot of first responders here yet? Like,
Oh no, this place was packed
Okay,
with first responders, but
they still needed the extra help.
well, they were letting people help, bringing blankets and
Anything that you saw that you feel like I missed that you feel like was a big part of this?
No, I didn't see any burns. Most of them just shook up and everything, but like I said, one woman, her legs were bleeding and damaged. They didn't look like anybody was burned.
Okay.
So
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you talking to me. You were great.
thank you. I hope you edited good so I don't sound like an idiot.
No,
I was
don't worry.
stammering a little bit there.
You
They're
sounded
asking for
fine.
you, Ross.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You were great. Thank you.
They're trying to turn around. a
Okay.
boat. All right, cool. All right,
Okay.
roger that. It's not windy, at least it's not raining.
True. Guess what? You're next. Kiss wants to talk to you when you have a second.
Of course I'm staying late.
Yup.
My
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nice calling you guys. I'm gonna head back.
Okay. Thank you again, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you for helping out too.
No problem.
Okay. Got it. You call that a backhoe, correct?
Yes, it's a back door. It's like we're trying to make a space so that they can go in.
There's also looks like firefighters in that building behind where the windows have been blown
I
out.
didn't know that windows were blown out until he said that. I didn't realize that. I thought they were opening it up for ventilation.
Yeah.
How's it going, sir? Did you have a loved one in there?
Yeah, I came with the fire company.
Oh, I got you.
She's a worker here. That's where we did the triage right there. Okay.
Where on the grass there?
Yeah, that's where everybody was.
He said that she works in there.
Hey, Don and Siafa, I just spoke with another resident who tells me he lives about 4 blocks away, he would estimate, from where this building potentially exploded and has now collapsed. And he described a very similar story to what we've heard from other residents here on the ground. I'm going to reiterate that to you here off camera as you take a look at the scene behind me. First of all, let me describe what we're looking at. This is the the nursing home, I should say, Silver Lake Nursing Home here in Bristol. The site of the explosion earlier today, and where they are now bringing in a backhoe on the left side. We believe that is to start picking up some of the debris and the pieces as there is an ongoing search and rescue effort underway at this hour. Let me tell you what this gentleman just told me. Again, he lives 4 blocks away. He described a similar story to what we heard from several other residents. A couple of hours ago, he heard and felt a large explosion in his home. Immediately came running outside. He knew this was larger than, say, a shooting or a small explosion. This was a big deal. He said he immediately saw a huge cloud of white smoke coming from the nursing home. And so he started making his way down here. He estimates it was about 40 minutes later that he started to see some flames and then a huge cloud of black smoke. And at that point, he decided he did not want to be breathing that kind of air in. But in the meantime, during the 40 minutes in between the first cloud of smoke and the second one, he says that there was a lot of residents from this nursing home that had been taken out either on stretchers or in wheelchairs or had managed to walk their way out. And there were actually residents who were helping out first responders to try and bring some of those folks who had suffered injuries to the nearby hospital, which is only about a mile away or so. And he did tell me that there were a couple of residents, it looked like, who had severe injuries that they had suffered, especially to their lower extremities, and they were bleeding quite a bit. I believe we have a soundbite from that gentleman who I just spoke with. Let's take a listen to what he had to say. No. So there you have it. That was one person's eyewitness account who lives, again, about 4 blocks away. That last part, still unconfirmed at this hour. The part about Pico potentially having been here for hours, smelling gas in the air. We heard that from a couple of residents, but that is unconfirmed. We do not know what caused this explosion. But again, just to bring you up to date, what's happening right now, you can see the scene still smoldering, still a decent amount of smoke coming from where this building collapsed. We see 2 extended ladders from Philadelphia fire engines over the top of this scene, but it doesn't look, but from what we've been able to see from our vantage point, like any first responders have gone into where the actual collapse happened. And like Siafa was describing not too long ago, that would make sense considering that the building is largely deemed, we don't know the integrity of the building and how safe it would be to go in there. So still a long way to go. We do see the backhoe at work on the left side there, trying to alleviate some of the debris that has collapsed in on itself from this building. But again, as far as we've been told, the last update we got, this is an active search and rescue scene. We'll bring you any updates as soon as we get them. Don and Siafa, back to you guys.
I don't think that Wanamaker's piece is going to make it.
I don't think so either. Can
You want to talk to
do you think I should have them send Nikki, because they're on the way here, go to the command post?
Which is over there on that side where Fox and 10 are. I think.
Okay. Hey, sorry I couldn't get back to you sooner. How are you here? Got it. That's all I was going to pass along to you, is that we are not by the media staging area, but we heard that the. So let me get the address. Hold on. Stay right there. Okay, then I think that's different than where we thought it was. Okay, here's what I would put in: intersection of Fayette Drive and Elmhurst Ave. Try there and let me know how you, if you get to where you're supposed to be. Thanks. All right. Good luck. Bye.
Hey, what's going on, Rich? To the command center. So yeah, at the mouth of this, Ross, you know what street this is?
So that's what I was just saying. It's Faye. If he's talking to Nikki, I just talked to her on the phone directly to give her directions.
Okay, Ross just gave her directly. Yeah, so she's going there. Hopefully she can get the sound. I think we may have missed an update. All right. We have a better vantage point. Yeah. All right. Okay. Bye. Yeah. What were you gonna say? Switch to the solid state. So they're gonna send Nikki to the other spot. Vantage point. Yeah. So here's the thing. I only have 4 batteries. Use one for the long distance work. Okay. So at some point I'm gonna need another battery from somewhere to get to the whatever 7 o'clock or whatever. After that, all bets are off. After 7 o'clock, I don't have enough battery power to get you. You got the park bar? So I think it's that house right there. I park right in front of, and they're missing a listing. Walter Ferris is the guy's name. They asked me if you find out if they're not, tell us because we're missing a camera. Okay. So, but they couldn't get any closer to it. So.
Yep. Sure.
Switching batteries, switching batteries. So maybe halfway through halfway through the 5, I'm gonna have to run and go grab another battery. Okay. Switch this up. We can go and talk to that family too. They were very nice. That they're looking for their loved one. They don't know whether he's in the hospital. They don't know whether he's still in there. They don't want to make sure we have enough time. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking hopefully Nikki and Jim will get here eventually, and they can take a little bit of this heat off us. I mean, I can leave the stuff here. I can run and get the battery, come back, but I just don't want to leave and then you be stuck just standing in front of the camera. Sure.
Sounds good. Can you send me that, Becca? Thank you. Got it. Who's this from?
I think she knows from Pico.
Is this from Pico, Becca? Is this from Pico? Okay. Thank you.
Just leave me like you have been. I'll go into the wreckage and then looks like they are really gathering right in front of where the wreckage is in the middle.
I'm going to focus on this because it's still active, and then I'll just fill the time with the Pico statement.
Sure.
Okay.
Doing a good job, Ross.
Thanks, dude. Hey guys, it's starting to get dark out here, but that is not stopping first responders because there was still a very active search and rescue response going on behind me. And actually, these crews have done a really good job of lighting up the scene, which is giving us a good vantage point to see what's going on. Essentially, where you see that smoke coming out of, that is where this explosion happened and where the subsequent collapse happened, and where they're now focusing the search and rescue efforts. I want to read you a statement from a PECO spokesperson. We just got this into our newsroom. It says, shortly after 2 p.m., PECO crews responded to reports of a gas odor at the Silver Lake nursing home. While crews were on site, an explosion occurred at the facility. PECO crews shut off natural gas and electric service to the facility to ensure the safety of first responders and local residents. That is the end of the statement, but it does seem to check out with a lot of the stories that we've been hearing from residents here on the ground. Some of them saying they live a few blocks away, some of them as much as a mile away, but they all felt and heard this explosion. That's how large this explosion was. So this is a pretty standard across the board from what we heard from folks. At this hour, we believe that there were people still trapped in. Some of the people that live in this area did tell us that when they got here, they immediately rushed here after hearing this explosion. And on the ground, they saw residents of this nursing home who had been taken out on stretchers or in wheelchairs, or were able to walk out on their own. Some of them had sustained some serious significant injuries, but they started helping them to get them to the hospital nearby. At this time, though, there are still active search and rescue efforts ongoing. We don't know what caused the explosion in the first place, but as soon as we get word, of course, guys, we'll pass that along to you. I'll send it back to you. Nikki was calling me when I was live on TV, asking where are we, and there's no media staging area.
Oh, is that Nikki?
Yeah.
Well, it's right where 10 and 29 are, where they would presumably go.
This is where I told them to go, and you tell me if you agree with me. I said it was, you basically want to aim for Fayette and, actually I did it closer, sorry. Pretty soon. Apparently, Nikki and them and the other crews are getting kicked out of that spot that we were just talking about. Like so we might be next. Good afternoon, Siafa and Dawn. There is still a massive emergency response here on the ground in Bristol, as we're told there's an ongoing search and rescue effort to find any survivors of this explosion and subsequent collapse of this building. Take a look behind me. You can still see dozens of fire trucks, some of them coming from as far as Philadelphia. And you can see the heart of why. There is still a lot of smoke smoldering from this collapse and what was the site of the explosion. This is the Silver Lake Nursing Facility here in Bristol. And at this hour, I should say about a half an hour ago, we saw backhoes coming into the scene. They were starting to work on some of this wreckage and starting to remove some of the debris from this collapse. They have since stopped that. We're not seeing any of that activity anymore, which might indicate that they are concerned about further collapses, although we are starting to see one backhoe. My photographer, Nate, if you can look over to the right, there's one starting to get a little active, starting to move stuff out of the way. Again, we're told this is an active search and rescue operation. Let me rewind for a second because I've been speaking with neighbors, residents on the ground here. This is actually a residential area, and quite a few of them told me that around a little after 2 o'clock, they heard and felt an explosion in their home, some of them as far away as a mile away. A lot of them immediately knew something was wrong just by the sheer size of the explosion and the power behind it. So they came running here to the scene. I actually spoke with one gentleman who described seeing a pretty grisly scene once he got here. Take a listen to what he had to say. So there you have it. Some pretty incredible heroism mixed in amongst all of this concern and anxiety surrounding some of the people that may be trapped inside. There were neighbors here who were helping people, essentially acting as first responders, trying to get people in wheelchairs, people who had been injured, as quickly as they could to the hospital. So that's pretty amazing. But again, just to catch you up, there's still a lot of emergency personnel, a lot of first responders here on scene. We're told it's still an active search and rescue effort as they try and find any survivors from this explosion and building collapse. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
What time do we need?
Okay, and did you hear a time? I heard it was 6:08. Okay, but you don't know the hit time in the evening news, and I meant 6:38. Okay, great.
Could have waited a little bit, but I think now's probably a good time to go.
Dude, you were fast as shit. You didn't see those people you ran into before, did you?
Yeah, they said that they found out that their loved one is okay. He
Oh,
made
wow.
it out.
Wow.
They said that he made it out. Walter Ferris is okay.
Off, which of course would be welcome news for these fire crews, which have been dousing it with water for several hours now. But again, the rescue activity that we had seen before in terms of the backhoes coming in to move some of the debris, some of the collapse that had happened with this building, that has since stopped. We're not seeing any of those big, large machinery moving in to try and rescue anyone who may have been pinned underneath the collapsed building. Again, I want to show you some new video that we saw from a viewer, one of the first people to arrive here. We've been talking with community members who heard and felt the explosion and immediately came running here to see what had happened. This was the immediate aftermath. It's pretty chaotic. And talking with some of the residents, they said that they saw some of the nursing home residents had come out either on their own or they were taken out in bed sheets, just whatever they could to help some of these folks who had been injured. Some of them were pretty seriously injured. And I actually spoke with one gentleman. I'm not sure if we still have the soundbite queued up, but he was one of the residents who came here and he described what he saw in terms of some of the chaos and some of the people who had been injured. Take a listen. And so a lot to unpack there, but I can tell you that a lot of the residents I've been talking to, they also smelled a strong gas odor when they first got here after that initial explosion and cloud of white smoke. I want to read you a statement just from we got from Pico. It says shortly after 2 p.m., Pico crews responded to reports of a gas odor at the Silver Lake nursing home. While crews were on site, an explosion occurred at the facility. Pico crews shut off natural gas and electric service to the facility to ensure the safety of first responders and local residents. So that was kind of harkening back to several hours ago. Just to catch you up to speed, again, we are seeing dozens and dozens of first responders, emergency personnel, not only from Bristol, but also many of the surrounding towns, some as far coming from as far as Philadelphia to try and help out with this really dire situation. We're starting to see some movement now with the fire trucks kind of being repositioned. So we'll see if they reignite these efforts to search and go through some of the debris and rubble that is left behind by this explosion and this collapsed nursing home. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio. Yeah, so it's a good question. They have kind of been repositioning themselves. Not sure if that pertains to the rescue, but also a lot of these trucks are equipped with these big spotlights to help light up a scene like this, especially in the winter months when we have less daylight. So I don't think visibility has been an issue, but I will say that a couple of the firefighters that were in those extended ladders, kind of providing the eyes and ears from an aerial point of view, they have since come down off of those ladders. So there's a lot of signs and signals that would indicate that maybe it's not a safe and secure structure for them to go in and resume those search and rescue efforts. They kind of seem to be taking a step back now that nightfall has arrived. I'm not sure if that's tied to the lack of light, but still a lot of personnel on scene here, and they're just kind of taking a cautious approach. Hello, this is Ross. Hi, I'm good. How are you? Perfect. So that's going to be tough. We're parked about 10 minutes away. Are you sure? Okay, because we could maybe make the dash and then get back here. Okay.
After, okay. I'm about to go live. Are you going to be around here?
Yeah, I have to drop. Are you gonna be here for a while?
Like 5 minutes or
Can you
so.
wait like 5 minutes? Yeah. Okay. I had to drop. I live that side, so I'm not blocked when I drop my wife to Ben Sill.
Okay. I'll find you.
I just want to give her the right info since you're the only one.
Thank you.
Might be helpful before and after.
Thank you.
Because we were the one who watched this thing like.
Yeah.
And it took like good 5 minutes or so to calculate. You know, to this. They didn't know that. It started like people even staff.
You're shut down. Let me know when you want to go back. Rescue 225 driver to Captain 225. 9 seated Tower 16. Okay. Yeah, Rescue 245. I'm back on side C by the special operations trailer. You need any equipment or anything? That's about it now. Okay, great. Yeah, just stay by there.
We're not ready to claim this as a recovery yet. We're still in rescue mode.
You said there was a second explosion. Were any first responders injured?
No.
With that, I want to turn over to our fire chief, followed by our police chief, to share some additional words, and we'll do our best to answer some questions. But again, I want to stress this is early, this information is preliminary, and I expect that there will be further updates this evening. Chief.
Thank you, Governor. This afternoon at 2:19, the explosion occurred. It is the facility is located directly across from one of our rescue squads, right next to the Lower Bucks Hospital, in close proximity to the fire department. When the explosion occurred, the radios lit up with reports of the explosion at the Silver Lake Nursing Home. Fire department responded quickly, was on scene within a couple of minutes. When we arrived, there was a major structural collapse with parts of the first floor into the basement with persons trapped. Fire department personnel immediately went into a rescue mode. They pulled many residents out of the building via windows, doors, stuck in stairwells, stuck in elevator shafts. Those who were outside the building already injured, and those that were being brought out by the fire department were handed off to the police officers, which came from every direction, and I believe every municipality around here, and were literally carrying the patients. As we handed them off to them, they were carrying patients, and as the governor said, there was one police officer who literally threw 2 people over his shoulders and ran with people to help, to definitive health care. it was nothing short of extraordinary, the operation that was taking place. When we entered the collapse zone, we did rescue 2 people from the actual collapsed structure in the basement. We did have a heavy odor of gas at that time. We got everyone out that we could find, that we could see, and we exited the building. Within approximately 15 to 30 seconds of us exiting the building, knowing there was a heavy odor of natural gas around us, there was another explosion and fire. We kept the fire in check without giving up the source. The fire actually helped us identify where the leak was coming from in the basement, and we just prevented it from spreading into other parts of the building. Chief, turn it over to the Chief of Bristol Township Police Department, C.J. Winnick.
Thank you, Chief. As the governor said, this is an extreme tragedy that happened to a vulnerable portion of our community at a nursing home. We responded to these calls, and everything that we did was nothing short of heroic. These officers, firefighters, EMTs, nurses that came from the hospital, we called over docs. We went into that building with a structure that was still in the situation of collapse and gas odors. I'd like to thank everybody from the surrounding agencies that responded. We had Montgomery County, Philadelphia, and throughout Bucks County, police officers, firefighters, EMTs, squads, ambulances, and Lower Bucks Hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, Frankfurt Torresdale, area Torresdale Hospital, took in patients from this disaster. And I'd like to thank all those people for their participation in this tragic event.
One additional comment. The township declared a disaster emergency shortly into this incident so that we could bring in the additional resources such as Philadelphia Rescue 1 and PA Task Force 1 for their specialized equipment to assist us in stabilizing the building and being able to search through the rubble, lift concrete. We also have heavy machinery here from some of our area contractors that are helping us move the heavy debris from the pile so that we can continue digging into the pile.
Thank you. Bob Harvey, Chair of the Bucks County Board of Commissioners. I want to also recognize 2 of our state representatives, Tina Davis and Jim Prokopiak, Representative our State Senator Steve Sinicero, Bristol Township Council President Craig Bowen is here, Bristol Borough Council President Ralph Giuseppe is here, Congressman Fitzpatrick, George Wilson from Bucks County Emergency Management. When the calls came in, the Bucks County Emergency Operations Center was activated and fielded calls from all over the region, including from Burlington County and Mercer County, offering assistance of any kind. We deeply appreciate all of those offers, and we, as you heard, can't add much more to what you already were told about the heroism, the swift action of all the first responders here, and to the hospital staff here, who really took the lion's share of the residents from this facility to make sure they were safe. Reunification with families is ongoing. It is a process that we're working on. We thank Bristol Township School District for offering Truman High School for family members who are searching for who had residents or family members here as residents. We're asking that you go to Truman High School. The reunification process will happen that way. We want to make sure that we have people identified here and that they're safe, and then we can reach out and contact family and have them, be reunited. So,
thank you. As I said, a lot of this information is preliminary. We're happy to try and take a few general questions if you have any.
How many are missing?
We believe there's 5 unaccounted for, but they may have left the scene with family members.
Yeah, I want to stress that these numbers are in flux. It may be that someone was there and had left. It may be that someone thought that someone was there and had left. I want to be very careful with these numbers as to how many are missing. There'll be updates throughout the evening.
How many are there for the fire chief? Do you have a ballpark estimate on the number of injuries that you have? I know the governor said something.
We don't know the total number of injuries because they've gone to so many different hospitals. But I will say that we are still in rescue mode. until we know the building is clear.
And just while I have you here, what can you say about your firefighters and police officers and first responders?
Absolute heroics. And as I said, the police officers were coming from every direction in every municipality around here. I saw police officer patches from 2-3 municipalities away that were helping us out, get people from away from the building. So it was an absolute all team effort. It was outstanding. I can't say enough about all fire personnel, EMS, and the police department.
Do you have any preliminary cause?
We don't.
No cause?
Okay, thank
No, just like for the rest of the night. So like, the recovery mode, is that still happening right now? Or is that supposed to
We're still in rescue mode. We have not transitioned into a recovery mode. So we will continue on that path of rescuing and digging into the basement with the heavy machinery assisting us. And then there are fire and technical rescue personnel in the collapse right now digging by hand. Using sonar, we've used dogs down there to help us with our search. We are not ready to claim this as a recovery yet. We're still in rescue mode.
You said there is a second explosion for any first responders.
No.
Look,
Do you have any idea how many people were there today when it happened? Approximately.
We're not sure of the total count of how many people they had in the building. We're relying on them to tell us which patients are accounted for, which we believe all the patients are accounted for that were residents here. There may be an employee that we're looking for, but even that's not confirmed.
What do you say about this community as a whole?
I'm sorry, I can't hear
What do
you.
you say about this community as a whole? People, residents trying to step in and help. Heard and saw what happened.
The nearby residents were outstanding. We had residents coming out of their houses offering to help us. And then, there came a time when their safety was being compromised because we had the next explosion.
look, I think this is the Pennsylvania way. Neighbors helping neighbors in a moment of need. You saw that here in Bristol. You saw that here in Bucks County. This is how we do this. I would just ask all Pennsylvanians to join Lori and I in prayer for this community, for those who are still missing, for those who are injured, and for those families who are about to celebrate Christmas with an empty chair at their table. There'll be further updates this evening. I again want to thank the chief, both chiefs, and all of the leadership here in Bucks County. They're doing an extraordinary job in a really, really difficult situation.
Tell us, 2 people who died. Are they rescuers?
Technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tower 8. Tower 11 on location. Yeah. Tower 11. Tower 11, send your crew to Site C. In front of engine 11. Can you send a couple guys up in the pocket and see if we can provide some lighting over the one-story portion? That's where they're working with the USART team right now. Appreciate it. Copy. Hey, Brantley. Start rolling from there. Copy. And then there are a couple of people talking more authority there.